SEMA Show. So this is the first year that Off-Road Evolution, or I should say EVO Manufacturing, has come to SEMA, and so we have to make a stop to see what they're all about. How's it going, my friend? How's it going? Long time no see. How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
So this is it, man. Looks badass.
Yeah,
3 days, huh?
Yeah, we did 3 days. No shop help, so it was just us out there. Me, Garth, Melvin, Elijah came over, burned the stuff in. We banged it out 3 in the morning. Melvin drove it at 6, so we had like 3 hours to spare.
You guys are nuts.
That's pretty good. It's all of our regular EVO stuff. So we went, I didn't want to go. This is my car.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go super flashy.
So what are we looking at here?
Okay, we're looking at 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport.
Awesome.
Put the Rubicon hood on, all color matched. Switch bitchin'. We did the KC light bar. We did our Rubicon rock sliders. We have some cool carbon fiber fenders we're private labeling.
Yeah.
Looking forward to all Rubicon high clearance stuff. Really neat, pops right on. We did our double throw on in the front. All of our new spring rates are all dialed in. We did the UD60s front and rear. The front axle is actually out of OG40. So yeah, we got some used parts on there. But kind of want to do some durability testing. So we did great on that one. We're going to run on this one, and we'll see what kind of longevity we get out of the UD6. We're really happy with them. Put a new axle on the back, did all the EVO bracketry on the rear ones. We did our top, our mid-size bed cage, put our spare tire on top. We did that deck system, really cool deck system. Man, there's a lot of pieces in that thing. But
a lot of nuts and bolts.
Yeah. I called in a favor. I called in a friend for help on that one. So Brian Hogue put that together for me on Sunday. So we got all that in there. Did all the PSC steering on it. So full ram assist with the Mega Box and mechanical power steering on it. Did some KC LED lights. So this one didn't have LED lighting. So we did the LED lighting in the fender, and then the KC lights on the front. Came out really good. Did the old school quarter pounder bumper. I like the utilitarian look. Did a stinger on this one. Did a partial roof rack. That's about all the accessories. Shore arm kit in the back still. Did our full coilover kit in the back with that, along with our high clearance brackets off the axles.
Awesome. I think we need to take a look around it now. So I'm standing here over at DECKED USA with Ben. This guy knows all the new stuff going on with the products that DECKED is making, so could you just take us around and let us know what we're looking at?
Sure, absolutely. So right here, as you may or may not have already seen, I'm not sure if you got one of these yet or not.
No.
But this is the drawer organizer. This came out recently. It's kind of a catch-all for the front of your drawer. Right here, I'll show you, it sits in the front with this, what used to be kind of wasted dead space. Sits in, it actually locks in with these waffles right here, so it doesn't slide around in your drawer, and just kind of fill it up with everything you need, everything you want. On top of that, we actually have a new product called the D-Bag, which is right here, appropriately named. You know, it's kind of a takeoff on our D-Box as well. This comes, it's semi-firm, semi-rigid foam bag with collapsible material in the middle. It's super strong. But it comes with straps, so you can pop these straps. You can carry this thing multiple ways. You can carry it like a briefcase. You can flip them over, wear it like a backpack. Inside of the bag, this one's stuffed. Hopefully it doesn't fall out, but there's a tool roll that snaps in.
Very cool.
And then, these open up. You can fill them with, wrenches, screwdrivers, whatever. These guys as well. And then this bag actually comes inside as well, snaps inside. Yeah, so this thing will be available first quarter of this year and run, not sure yet, right around 120 bucks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So one of the questions a lot of our viewers want to know, are your products made in the USA?
Our products are made in the USA, yes.
Awesome. That's what we always want to hear.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I mean, we strive to always keep everything made in the USA.
Hey, can we go around back to take a look at this?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. This JT has got this cool overland build, complete with rooftop tent. But one of the cool things that I noticed in the back, as we came over to this display, is this thing. So in addition to being able to carry all kinds of goodies inside the back of your pickup, locked up and secure, what do we got here?
So this Gladiator actually was built by Complete Customs, but this drawer itself, we got the idea from a company called Action Vans. They're in Phoenix, Arizona, I believe, and they had done this for a van that we saw a couple years ago, and we called them and asked them to do it for this guy as well. So yeah, it's cooktop, sink, everything, as well as the guys from Complete Customs mounted this Traeger grill that can pull out and mount so light in your rack. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we get this question a lot actually on if you can do this, but you can't.
So was this completely custom then, or?
Yeah, it's customized. We didn't make this ourselves.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Ben recently got married, so congratulations.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Right on. Thank you.
So one last thing that we noticed, and apparently is coming to us very soon, are?
Out now. So yeah, actually shipping currently right now already are these desert tan lids for the D-box and the crossbox.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. We're standing over at the Lear booth. A lot of people over on Wayalife.com were asking to see if maybe they're going to come out with a camper shell or any other products like a bed slide or otherwise, and unfortunately none of those exist, but they do have this pretty cool deck top for the bed, and I think that might be the only thing they have so far. They're calling it a retractable tonneau cover, and it's, hang on, I might even be able to talk to somebody. How's it going? Is there anything that you guys are going to come out with other than the tonneau cover, or?
Just speaking with a gentleman about fiberglass.
Yes, okay.
So I think the sales for Jeeps is projected to be low.
Okay.
Now it's far exceeded expectations. So I think everyone, I would say you probably will.
Okay.
Don't have a definite answer, but the engineer just said it's changed from what they thought last year.
Okay.
So I would say you probably will.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Well, that was kind of a bust, but maybe not. Obviously, Lear doesn't have anything now, but they are definitely looking for feedback from people like you guys out there. So keep those questions coming, because I'll hit them up, and with any luck, you'll be seeing products like a camper shell in the relative near future. Hey, how's it going? Long time no see.
Yeah, how are you?
Is there a chance that we could do an interview with you in regards to a Gladiator? We're standing here next to Dave at AEV, and he's going to give us a rundown of the Gladiator that they have here, which looks phenomenal inside. What kind of green is this?
We call it ZC Green. And
Looks
it's
great.
yeah, something we developed a few years ago, but just came back out with kind of.
Awesome. Well, so where should we start? What are we looking at?
Well, Gladiator just came out, so we really haven't had a lot of time to develop parts for it, but a lot of it's carryover JL. So the wheels, the front bumper, the snorkel are all carryover JL. We redeveloped a vertical tire mount that it's shared with the Ram, and that'll work for a 31 through 42 inch tire. And then the big one on this one is suspension.
Can we go give it a look?
Yeah, let's go take a look. Suspension on the Gladiator, we have a lot of experience with these long wheelbase Jeeps and with the Brute, so we knew a few tricks that really make these things ride and handle well. I'm not impressed with the factory ride, especially on the Rubicon. Did not seem like they got the tuning quite right, and so we fixed a lot of that, especially in the rear. But we've also introduced a new Bilstein 8100 shock. There were a lot of customers asking for a bigger bore remote reservoir shock. If you live in Death Valley, it actually did make a difference. So a lot more cooling on this shock, and a lot more corrosion protection. That's one of the big things with aftermarket shocks is the corrosion, the bushings, especially the higher end shocks are typically the worst of corrosion factor. And so these are set up for mag chloride. So it's a new painted finish. It's not like the traditional Bilstein finish, and we worked a long time with those guys to get that done. I'm pretty proud of this for the Gladiator, how it changes the ride and handling.
So I think what a lot of people are going to want to know, what kind of, how much of a lift am I looking at here?
Right, so this is a 2.5 inch lift, set up for the 37 inch tires. It's really all you need. And then we also have a high capacity spring package it'll be out there really soon. I don't know, just behind this regular one, for the guys doing a lot more weight, carrying a lot more weight in the back.
So the springs, would they only be for the rear, or is it for the front as well?
Always front and match set because of the frequency tuning. If you have a stiffer spring in the rear, you can get pitching. So we always set our springs up for frequency, to the front's tuned to the back. So when you hit a bump, by the time you hit the rear bump, everything's in phase. And it dampens out, and it really is it's one of the keys that makes our suspensions ride a lot different than most companies. Also in the rear, there's some options on the track bar for raising the roll center. So we have it set where we want it. But then if you do have an extra high center of gravity, like a camper, a four-wheel camper, or something tall, there's actually some other options that can get you a higher roll center. Another big improvement is these stamped. These are a new stamped geometry correction bracket. And it's not just lowering the mounts, it's actually changing all the geometry for better anti-dive, and ride quality was one. But it also fixed some problems with how the drive shaft travels. There's also caster adjustment on those, and so we've gone to this new stamped version, which is much stronger, and it can take a beating.
So what we've noticed on our Rubicon when it was bone stock, it definitely had that rear end kind of like bounce.
Yep.
And that always drove us nuts.
Yeah, it has a lot of bounce and booming.
Booming,
a lot
yes.
of booming right in here, and that's all stuff that we've been through.
Right.
We've been through.
These guys are the
years.
experts.
Yeah. So we have some experience with this vehicle, in general. And that was the booming was one of the things we really wanted to get rid of. And on the Rubicon, I felt the valving was really soft, way too soft. Especially in emergency handling, and especially once you start adding weight to the vehicle, it made no sense to me.
Sure.
So we worked a lot with Bilstein and got all that stuff. I am so proud of this suspension. This is one that really, you immediately notice a difference. Literally, by the time you pull out of the parking lot, you're like, oh yeah, I feel it already.
Awesome. So one of the things that caught my attention right away was the tire carrier. Is that available now?
No, not quite yet. First quarter, it'll be available.
Because I know a lot of guys are going to want to move to get that spare out from underneath and bringing it up on top, and this is a really nice system.
Yeah, it really came out good. There's actually a shovel mount in there, and we're working on some additional accessory mounts for that. It's a nice spot for a big tire.
Awesome. So it turns out for you JL guys who've been asking for some coverage of them, they've got some cool stuff too.
Everybody's been asking about the JL bumpers. We are delayed, significant delayed. The shorty version will be out here probably right around January, February. That's been released to production. The long version is still coming. Still want to do it just perfect. We went through this new high strength material, and to be honest, we've had some issues trying to process it and get the coatings right.
Sure.
So things take time. But this one has been released for production. Everybody's asking. It's funny, I could put up a post about a differential cover, and every comment is, when's the bumpers coming? So that's the story.
But you got to know, it's because this shorty front bumper is awesome. It looks great. When you guys introduced it last year, everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, so we're getting this one out. Also new, this is our first light we've ever done. So LED light, amazingly high quality, made in America, IP69K rating, so it's the ultimate rating for high pressure steam, dust, water intrusion. It's just a really high quality light. And then, talking about the JL rear bumper, this version will be out first quarter as well.
Nice.
And one of the neat things about that, if you come around here, is the way our bumper comes up, it takes out the bump in the fender liner.
The pinch seam is?
Yeah, well, there's actually nothing under there.
Right.
And I don't know why there's a bump. So anyway, our bumper takes care of that, so you can run a 37 on a 2.5-inch lift with no rubbing.
Got it.
Because that's just something, I don't know why the factory did it, but we took care of that, which was a nice feature. And then new steel wheels.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome.
It's kind of a throwback just to, like almost back into the 70s where
Sure.
they were just a hardcore working wheel.
So looking at it right off the bat, it looks like it is hub-centric for a steel wheel, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
And it still has the factory bolt pattern. I'm going to guess like 4.5 inches of back spacing maybe, or 5?
It's actually 5 3/4.
5 3/4?
Yeah,
wow,
on an
okay.
8-inch wheel.
Okay.
But that's right where we wanted the 37
Sure.
to sit.
Well, and of course the benefits of that is that your ball joints and unit bearings won't be taking a beating with the huge offsets that you see on a lot of aftermarket wheels.
Yeah, we wanted to go back to that 70 series Land Cruiser kind of look.
Sure.
And, and just keep everything looking, it's a different look.
How about up front? Anything going on up front?
So the snorkels, they'll be available first quarter. There's 2 different snorkels, one for each fender flare and one for aftermarket fender flares. The one for the lower flare will actually work for the aftermarket fender flares. Nice thing about that is you don't have these big gaps. There's a couple other snorkels on the market, but aesthetically I don't think they quite work. You can see that character line in the body.
Right.
It flows through.
It's very nice.
So this comes up, that comes down, and just aesthetically works, and it's the right size. It's big enough to actually get air into these motors. I think that's it on this car.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much. I really appreciate it.